the Forbidden Blender.
As I leaned back into the boat, I heard a low growl. My eyes darted around as I snapped all my limbs into the boat, out of range of anything that might pop out from under us. I thought for a sec. Growl? I thought gators hissed. A voice jolted me out of my zoology lesson.
"You find what you look for there, boss?"
Jimmy asked. "Yeah," I said. "Jimmy, what's Louisiana like?" A confused look flashed across his face, then vanished. "I'm assuming you're Cajun. I'm not really an expert, but I thought most Cajuns came from Louisiana." Jimmy answered, stumbling over his words.
"Well, but it's like most places, maybe a little warmer down here."
"Warmer than Miami?" I asked, surprised. Jimmy didn't respond. He just stared straight ahead and guided the boat. Eventually, everything looked the same. I tried keeping my eyes out for more rappers, but my search came up empty. The deeper we got into the glade, the more it looked like Jimmy didn't know where we were any better than I did. Neither of us were willing to admit we had no idea where we were, so we figured forward was our best bet. We were gliding along when I saw a flash of white slip into the water out of the corner of my eye. "There, Jimmy!" I pointed in the direction of the splash, and he gunned it. The white form darted through the water and then banked hard to the left. "Left! Starboard! Prow! Whatever! Turn, Jimmy!" And Jimmy turned, but with a little too much enthusiasm. Next thing I knew, I was airborne. I slapped the water headfirst a split second later. Even before my mind could register what happened, my feet were kicking frantically, trying to propel me towards land. The second I felt semi-solid ground, I scrambled up. Gasping for breath and soaked, I turned to see the boat. The giant fan had spun out of its cage and sunk itself deep into the bottom of the boat. The boat was taking on water and would be at the bottom of the glade soon. Atop the capsized boat was a very frantic Jimmy. He was yelling. He sounded different. "Get me out of here, man, come on!" I momentarily forgot how dire the situation was. "What the hell, Jimmy? I thought you were a Cajun." He was rambling now. Panic and fear had a firm grip on his mind. "It was a sweet gig. Just take people out for an hour, come back. No one wants to hire somebody from Bayonne to take them on gator tours. I lost a teeth playing hockey. I watched YouTube videos on Cajuns. I didn't want to deal with another winter in Jersey." If the boat crash didn't attract them, Jimmy's meltdown definitely did. The gators started popping up from below. A few at first, then dozens. They looked like they were waiting for their numbers to be called at the deli. I'd like to say Jimmy didn't go down without a fight. I'd also like to say I'm 6'2" and have an 8-pack. I'd like to say a lot of things that are outright lies. The ship sunk, and Jimmy won with nature. I went over my options. No boat. No guide. From Jersey? Seriously? No gear. No gator. As I said that, I felt something brush up against my leg. Looking down, I saw there was a small albino gator. It couldn't have been bigger than a cocker spaniel. Operating on what little knowledge of gators I had, I clamped down on its jaws with one hand and scooped up the rest of it with my other arm. Weak jaw opening muscles, super strong closing muscles. I could feel it wriggling under my grip. "Not tonight, Albert Gator." Well, one problem solved. Used to be the biggest problem, now the smallest. I could see the lights of Miami in the distance. I could hold on to this guy till dawn and then find my way back. Can't be much longer now. It was then that I heard the low growling again, and it wasn't from Casper the not-so-friendly gator in my arms. I looked out at the water. All the gators were gone. Never thought a lack of gators would freak me out, but it did. Where was the noise coming from? It was getting louder. I was on a small spit of land, isolated. I looked around. I could try jumping in and swimming to another section, but I could end up going the way of Jimmy. And it's a little hard swimming with both arms wrangling a mini gator. The growling sounded like it was right on top of me at this point. I crouched down, trying to make myself as unobtrusive as possible. The growling stopped. Then I heard a whisper.
You take one of our wonders. Leave him, and we will only take a part of you in punishment.
Yeah. As creepy as you sound, no. The Chechnyans have guns. Lots of guns. And they don't know how to use them very well, so I'll probably die slowly from their terrible aim. I'm gonna give them what they want. Vaca didn't say anything about taking it alive, so I was just gonna snap this thing's neck and get out of here. As I slowly moved my other arm around the thrashing gator's neck, I felt something snag my leg. It wrenched backwards and I fell face forward, my stitches tearing wide open. I dropped the gator as I screamed and it scampered off into the water. I tried to get back up, cursing a blue streak the whole time, when something else grabbed my other leg. I craned my neck around to see slimy green vines coiling themselves around my legs. They started to retract into the swamp, river of grass, whatever. I clawed at the plants, ground whatever was around to stay put, but the vines were too strong. Another vine shot out from the swamp and wrapped around my throat. It was getting harder to breathe. I tried to keep a hand dug into the ground, keeping me steady, and the other trying to pry the vine around my neck off. My vision was getting blurry. In a split second, I felt a rush of air all around me. Looking down, I saw that I was at least 10 stories off the ground, hoisted up by vines. More and more of the vines started to snake their way up to me. I could see them start multiplying rapidly. They started to form something. A face. The face's mouth opened. I heard the low growling again. And then the voice again.
The old man was wiser. He took his punishment. All he lost was an arm. You'll lose so much more.
I felt myself falling rapidly, hitting the water hard, more vines springing out from the murky water pulling me down, and then darkness.